Hi, Mr. Pannon. Good to welcome you to our program. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
I wanted to start off and ask if you're surprised at all at the state of what's happening between Canada and India right now.
No, actually, I'm not surprised. This should have happened actually 2 decades back, since India is labeling pro-Khalistan Sikhs and sovereignists as terrorists and pushing the successive Canadian governments to take criminal action against those who are just using their freedom of speech and expression. And as Stephen Harper, our former prime minister, put it, that Khalistan is a political opinion, which Narendra Modi's government does not understand. They do not understand the difference between freedom of speech and expression and acts of violence.
I want to ask you about some of what India's High Commissioner said. In particular, sort of his pushback against the idea that evidence had not been shared with him or the government of India, and that they, would not cooperate as a result of that. What is your impression upon hearing that?
This Indian High Commissioner Sanjay Verma, I just wanted to say, he is less of a diplomat and more of a hypocrite. I wanted to remind Sanjay Verma the statement of his boss, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who during his 3rd term on the floor of Indian Parliament made this statement that under the strong Modi regime, they go to the safe havens of those who challenge India's territorial integrity and kill them. So who should we believe? Narendra Modi, who made an open admission on the floor of the parliament, or Sanjay Verma, who is just giving a deceitful and deceptive responses?
He also rejected, I put to him the indictment, that even more of which has been recently unsealed, that talks about the attempt on your life. And he rejected any connection between that and the murder of Mr. Nijjar. How would you respond to that?
In this U.S. case, if you would see that, they are basically stuck with the evidence, because one of their own raw agent who was directing Nikhil Gupta. So they have recorded him, they have his videos, and they have all the text messages when they wanted to hire the hitman. So I was just, with Guru's blessing, I wasn't supposed to be dead that day. But in case of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, they hired a gun who were able to successfully assassinate Hardeep Singh Nijjar. And when Sanjay Verma is stating that there is no connection between US and Canada, he's only talking about they do not have the text messages from the hitman tying to their raw agents. But I'm very sure this signal information, human intelligence, and the indictment, which is just half open. It's not full indictment and the full evidence which US authorities have. So once that is open, that is going to tie them exactly to the same raw agency headed by Samant Goel, and they will have no response at the time. They will not be able to contradict that they are not involved.
Are you convinced that the 2 cases, the one that targeted you, of course, and the one that targeted Mr. Nijjar, are connected?
I'm going with what is given in the U.S. indictment, and whatever the case is being presented as of now. If you look into the Canadian case and the assassination of Shahid Nijjar, what is the connection between Hardeep Singh Nijjar and me? Hardeep Singh Nijjar was the chief coordinator of Khalistan referendum in Canada, and they have designated him terrorist. In US, I'm their general counsel, and they have designated me the terrorist, just for simply asking a question, should Indian govern Punjab be an independent country? So they assassinated Shahid Hardeep Singh Nijjar so that this referendum campaign should not continue or could not continue in Canada. And in case of US, they wanted to kill me here so that they can suppress the freedom of speech and expression, and they can make sure that the Khalistan referendum campaign does not move ahead.
And is it your, is it your experience? I'm not sure if you're able to share, but that you are still a target. Do you feel unsafe at this time?
Means I go with our Sikh religion's belief that the day I was born, the date and place and time of my death is written on my forehead. So I'm not, afraid of their threats, and I'm not going to stop campaigning for the global Khalistan referendum. And we are moving ahead and doing it in New Zealand. But having stated that, do I have threats? Is India still planning? Yes. Narendra Modi's government and the raw agents, they are now going through the counterintelligence officials in the state of Punjab, and they are trying to hire the hitman from the same community which I belong to. But that's not going to deter me or stop me from going ahead with my Khalistan referendum campaign.
And if I could conclude on this, Mr. Pannon, what do you anticipate all of what you've just described means for what happens next between Canada and India?
If they have challenged, basically, we have to see that the India, who has been emboldened by actually, we have encouraged Americans, Canadians, and the European Unions have encouraged Narendra Modi, a known human rights violator, who was once banned to enter these countries. So when you promote a human rights violator like Narendra Modi, this is the actions which he is going to take. They have challenged Canada's sovereignty, they have challenged American sovereignty and the UK. What needs to be done is to decimate and dismantle the spy network which they have built under Indian High Commissioner Sanjay Verma. These Vancouver and Toronto Indian consulates are the hub of the spy network.